Welcome back to our garden in southwest of Ireland. And if you've been on my channel before, you would have noticed that I haven't been as active on the channel lately. I've taken a little bit of a break. So it's time for an honest chat. There have been plenty of times in my life where I've had to put a hold on my hobbies and interests. And usually the biggest reasons being health or financial circumstances, but mostly because I've just lost the sense of direction or inspiration, being overwhelmed, not having enough time, or just all of the above mixed up together. But how to deal with it, or what's the solution? And let me explain how I deal with it. Now, gardening is my personal hobby. Even though we are living in the countryside, we are not practicing off-grid or subsistence living, and we're not expecting to be self-sufficient for food from our land. We are really just a very ordinary family, commuting to work and school and doing our grocery shopping in the supermarkets. But this doesn't stop us from following our passions in life, even though our family's hobbies are totally contrasting. My husband is passionate about rally cars, car rallies and farming machinery. Our son is very active in local sports clubs, and I have the interior design and gardening. So we're really doing our own thing, but while supporting each other. It is very normal to experience loss of direction or inspiration during any stage of your life. I suppose just the most important thing is to actually get it back. I'm just clearing out a lot of the tomatoes here in the greenhouse, and that's the money maker now. That's the only one that's left on this side. There's loads of blight in amongst the plants, and I'm just trying to harvest it because I do have to actually make changes inside here as well. Not in today's video, but overall I do have to do it. So I'm just tidying this up as I talk to you. But yeah, back to the story. So I think for me, feeling uninspired or not even wanting to come out here and garden, I think it's just probably started creeping very slowly in July, when we had that incredibly wet July. And then I had a failure of some of the crops and loss of seedlings. So that sort of the negativity started to creep in. But I know it definitely was increased by two major life events, and one of them being that our son started a new school. And it's a secondary school after finishing from the primary education. That particular change brought about a whole different sort of lifestyle, a lot of extra homework, and a much bigger change than I was expecting. And I definitely didn't expect this to affect me as strong as it did, but it just shows you how the most basic pre-planned changes, because we knew that change was going to come about, can trigger a loss of your enthusiasm. But it's okay. It's the main thing is to get it back, as I said. Look how it's trying to grow and keep growing. And there's new flowers on it and everything. But no, the season is finished. So no more. And I think what I found that works for me is just allow yourself a bit of self-compassion. Just understand that you're feeling these feelings and give yourself time to adjust it. Don't sort of force yourself to fix this mood. And I suppose just like reflect on them, because some situations or failures are always going to be beyond your control, and they're just a life's way of building our resilience to setbacks. I suppose the beauty of gardening, though, is in the change of season and each of them bringing just a new opportunity if you let it be an opportunity. Because at the end of the day, what's gone is gone, and there's nothing you can do about it now anymore. But you could look forward, and you could have different crops to grow, different weather, different gardening jobs, or just perhaps a break from the gardening altogether. Because even like short nature walks could be beneficial, and visiting gardens, but not garden centres, is the last thing you want to add another job to your list by carrying home plants that will need your care and attention. At the moment, you sort of need to surround yourself with beauty and positivity, not extra work. And sometimes just even enjoying somebody else's hard work will do that. Oh, there's a lot of green tomatoes still up there. How do I get down? It's full of blight. Don't really want to touch them. I've also been watching a lot of gardening programs and gardening YouTube videos, and I find them hugely satisfying. And I think I'm even instinctively picking positive topics. But overall, it's just all about re-evaluating your own priorities and just setting out like a small plan. Just small targets, real achievable goals that once you complete them will sort of give you a little bit of a inner confidence boost. And then usually this will start the chain reaction that will keep feeding your brain with new thoughts, new ideas, and most importantly, positive thoughts. And this is just like a base, then you keep building upon. But baby steps and self-compassion for sure. Because otherwise I had not come near the garden for weeks. I just could not mentally deal with all the jobs that I was facing. Ooh, there's a dirty blighty one there again. I'm not picking that. Yeah, these are nice ones. But at least now lately I've started with these kind of little cleaning jobs and tidying up even the main part of the kitchen garden, because we had the storm, what was the name of it? Agnes came through and pulled down the P and beam frame, so I did really have to actually do something about that. I could not just leave that laying on the ground any longer. I started my cleanup just from the outer raised bed area where I had some brassicas planted. Now, most of the brassicas had failed in this location, and I think it was probably to do with the preparation of the area of my behalf, or the lack of the preparation. I had beautiful helpers with me. They were great at eating any bugs they could find, and there was so many flea beetles jumping around. But luckily they're fast girls. They caught them quite easily. saying, Papa?
Now all of the purple flowering broad beans had to be taken down as well. A lot of the pods had gone dry and black already, but some had mold growing on them. I'm going to save as much seed off them as possible though, as I definitely want to grow this variety again. The flowers were stunning and it held itself against the wind really well. Now the fennel was definitely blocking every bit of the walkway in and out of the kitchen garden to the field. The winds had really pushed it to one side too, so I did have to take it down, and it was as thick and hard to cut as a bamboo, to be very honest about it. So I had to bring the big loppers out for it, and even my shredder would not chop it. So I'd say I'm just going to let it dry a bit, and then I'm going to burn the big thick stalks. But obviously the seeds I'm going to save for cooking. Then obviously the pea and bean frame. Now this was the second time this autumn the storms had managed to push it down, but this time the wind had really flattened the frame and severed the branchwork from the ground. So I did harvest all the runner beans and took the framework apart as well. So that's just going to be put away now for the winter season. I love using my electric shredder in autumn to cut all this awkward or fibrous materials to small pieces for the compost heap. It breaks them down really fast. I also cut back the wild rocket that had gone to flower, and mainly because it had gone so wild looking and also outgrown its space. I do want to move it out of the kitchen garden anyway, so this way it will be easier to dig it up later. Also harvested all of the corn. This year we had the biggest crop. Usually would grow enough for one meal, but this year we had enough for three and still more for the freezer after. I got about 1 to 2 ears per plant, and I had 22 plants. Now, after harvesting the corn, I did cut down the stalks of it, and I actually miss the look of them in the garden. It just looks a little bit bare now once they're gone, but there was just something really impressive about them, as they had withstood every bit of the weather so far. So they were a really nice structural plant to have. And again, the shredder makes light work of all this material for the compost heap.
You happy with yourself? Are you? You really happy? Proud of yourself and your wall? Yeah. No, I won't throw it. I won't throw it. I just still have to talk to them. There. So this is what's been happening with me over the last few weeks, why I have been very quiet and keeping to myself. And if you've had these moments of meh in your life, how have you dealt with it, or is it quite similar what I'm doing just to get through it and get things positive again? Sure, let me know. Otherwise, I think I have to go and do something with all these tomatoes. I'd say there's a lot of sauce to be made again. Yeah, and maybe play a bit of ball. Huh? Shaky, shaky, shiver. You're so excited. You're so excited. Yeah, you are. Come on, so bud. Come on, Spuds. Ah, got it. Got it. Come on.